Probably thought I wasn't going on live, but I said, you know what? I have a message, y'all. Mom life can definitely be an overwhelming life. And mom burnout is a real thing because I think oftentimes in motherhood, we just keep going and going and going and going. And we don't realize that we're not the Energizer Bunny. We're not made with batteries in our back that we could just switch out and just keep on pushing forward. So I just wanted to talk about how to prevent mom burnout where we can, the signs of it, and just how this mom life can have a lot of moving parts to it. And y'all, we got our Taz on the live with us tonight. But mom life can be overwhelming, especially a mom of multiple children. Um, and I mean, when you're talking about, we often are responsible for the children, the house, and just we play a big role in so many of our components to our day-to-day life that if we fail to properly plan, we can feel overwhelmed fairly easy, right? And I mean, just outside of the mom hat, we still have our individual hats that we wear. You know, we have our jobs, we are sisters, you know, your wife, or significant other. You know, it's just a lot that go on in this mom life that we have to worry about. And I always say, y'all know I like my Big Macs, even though I haven't had one this in the new year. The best way to eat is just one bite at a time. So I always talk about what I've learned just over the years as my kids continue to grow is that it's very important to be structured, have structure, plan for things because there's not too much in our mom. We have our day-to-day things that we can't just fully plan out. There are some things that come and we got to be flexible. But for the most part, we know if it's a school day, we got to get our kids up at a certain time. We know we got to get them from school. We know pretty much the flow of the day. So it's just things that we have to do maybe during the course of the week or just things that we need to put our focus and attention on that we got to plan for. So I can tell you that a big component to preventing mom burnout for me has been planning. I am such a doodler, a writer. I keep some type of calendar, whether it's in my cell phone or, you know, I'm a queen of having like a notepad beside my bed to make sure that I'm remembering little things as they come up. So if I have to say the biggest component to trying to prevent mom burnout is plan your day, and it doesn't have to be long-term planning. So you may not be a mom that's planning for the next 2 weeks. It's okay to dang near plan for the next couple of days, right? So tomorrow, you know, what are you cooking for breakfast? You know, if your children have school, are their backpacks out tonight? Or have you gone through them? Have you looked at their folder? You know, are their school clothes out? There are certain things that we can do within those smaller increments. So there's that 24-hour to 48-hour planning. And there's nothing wrong with that. So once you start seeing the benefit of that kind of 24 to 48-hour planning as a mom, then you start to kind of broaden your scope of sight of planning. And I always think about that like nursing. When I first started nursing, when you go in the room, you're kind of like, look at your patient, right? How do they look? What is the monitor, the vital signs on the monitor looking like? Same thing like that with mom life. You know, when you're a new mom, you go in, you're looking at your baby. You know, you're focused on what the baby's doing. Does the diaper need to be changed? And then when you become a little bit more seasoned in it, you walk into the room, you're looking at the baby, you're looking at the toys on the floor, you're looking at the light over here that need to be turned off. You're looking at the whole room. You know, that's how you can kind of spot those like little, when your children are small, little toys that shouldn't be on the floor or things that maybe they just shouldn't be within reach. Remember, you're kind of always looking for safety. You're always looking to see what's going on that you as a mom can look out for that your children don't see. And y'all, that can just be kind of stimulus overload sometimes. Mom life, I tell you, we can hear every ding, every bump on the floor sometimes, especially towards the end of the day. You may become more overstimulated by things just because we going all day long. We're at that 16-hour mark at some point where the kids are calling our name. Stuff is binging and buzzing in the laundry and the TV is on. So then the next component to helping prevent that mom burnout is making sure that you're taking your individual time. getting those kids on the schedule so they are out of the way. And remember, you kind of almost like in a kid-free zone. I say that is so important. And always been very, very serious about having that me time and knowing when to kind of decompress from the day and put those kids to bed. So you'll be surprised. Remember, I always look at it with money too. Sometimes if you budget the money, you'll already feel like you have an increase. So it's not necessarily more money, but because you're budgeting it and being more intentional about how you're spending and saving it, it feels like you have more. So that's the same thing when it comes to your time as it relates to motherhood and our day-to-day structure and schedule. Getting those children in bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock, depending on the age of the children, you know that they're out of the way at that point. And now your house is quiet and you're able to do the things that you do to relax and unwind. So if that's a hot bubble bath, a hot shower, a good book. And that's something too that I'm gonna share with y'all as well, a book that I'm reading. But I try to read a couple chapters a night, just being intentional about detaching from electronics, things that overstimulate us, y'all. So our phones, things that buzz and beep, and don't be afraid to remember to put your phone on that do not disturb. Of course, let emergency contacts in, but learn how to detach and decompress at the end of the day. Sometimes we pummel through a whole day of chaos, come home, you're rushing to find something to eat, cook. The kids have homework, they may have practice. It can all seem like a lot. So look at your day, and when you're scheduling, say, you know what, after they get out of school, we're going to immediately attack homework. Go ahead, you got to cook for the evening. So that morning you should be taking out some type of meat to prepare, or something that you're going to be preparing for your children for the evening. So don't be afraid to think ahead. You're going to save yourself that time. Remember, it's not that we get any more time in a day. 24 hours is what we're working with, and that's all we're going to get. Now, what we do in that 24 hours is going to be the difference. So if I have already said, you know what, I'm not a huge planner, I'm new at this structure thing and routine, so I'm only looking at the next 24 hours in a sense, right? Kind of really looking at it and planning it out. I'm going to say, you know what, tomorrow I know I have school. So your school clothes out, are they out ironed? If you're an ironing mom, I am, y'all. So I may be a little bit more old school. I don't know. So I'm going to iron and steam the clothes. I just love my children to be wrinkle free. I may have wrinkles, but my kids ain't, okay? And that's the real testament to my parenting, is the way my kids present. I know I'm going to jump fresh. I know they're going to jump fresh. But moms, it's not all the time, but long as we're getting their needs met. Hey, y'all. But planning. So if I know that there's school tomorrow, the things that I'm doing tonight, and being intentional about the time they're getting in bed. And then another thing are those electronics. So as much as we should be going on do not disturb at a certain time to make sure that we have that time to kind of decompress. We need to make sure those kids are off those electronics. And if you don't have the apps in the phone to use to help kind of monitor their time or shut it down, don't be afraid to say, hey, all phones on the dock, all phones on the counter, all phones in a certain designated area where they plug them before bed, and then they get them tomorrow, the next day, before school, or however you choose to give it back to them. But also, moms, get those kids off of the electronics. At a certain time, we want them to be able to wind down. But the Blu-ray that they're getting from the phones, it doesn't help the body start to shut down and wind down to prepare for sleep. So I'm really big during the school week is getting my children off of the electronics and TV off at a reasonable time. And moms, I know it's a lot, but just get up and make sure that all phones are confiscated. I don't trust mine to be like, hey, get off the phone, and then when you close the room door, they're gonna be strolling. Should we do it? We'll be over here talking, we're gonna put the phone down. Next thing you know, you be strolling and look up and a whole hour done passed by. So they face the same challenges. And at least we're working with the maturity to be able to push through in the morning for work if we're tired. The consequences of not getting off or watching that movie or whatever it is we're doing. But children, remember, they're needing us to guide them through that. We're teaching them how to better manage their phones. No phones come with me. See, me too. I collect the phones. Like I said, we're teaching them how to, manage dealing with electronics, showing that maturity. And that's turning in those phones at a certain time. So mine know I'm not going to come looking for it. So it need to be ready to be turned in. That's a part of that responsibility. And it's showing me that they are ready for those cell phones and they can keep those electronic gadgets, you know. So I'm really big on that. And when it comes to electronic gadgets during the school week, I do have like the iPhone, so I do utilize like the parental mode where I may lock the phone out during school hours. So they may take it to school for emergencies, but I do have you know, certain apps locked out, and only certain contacts can come in, emergency contacts, you know, of course, like me, and then designated family members. So moms, we do need to make that little extra effort of intention to make sure that we're utilizing the proper resources to help us. Because y'all know moms, we like to tell them that we got eyes in the back of our head and that we hear everything, we got bionic ears. But the truth is, you got multiple kids, multiple phones. Heck, we can barely keep up with our electronics. So utilize your resources and then hold your kids accountable. So if we say that those phones need to be in at 7:30 because they ain't nothing to be talking about on the phone at 9 and 10 o'clock at night on a school night, then we want them to be able to hold up their end of the bargain. And I've always been a mom to encourage the behavior that I like by creating a point system, which I'll show y'all some of the charts that I use. But say for instance, in the morning when I help walk through their rooms, getting them ready for school in the morning, you know, when they make up their beds, because y'all know if y'all follow me, and if you haven't, make sure y'all subscribe. But I make sure that they make up their beds after getting up in the morning. I personally have always been the type, and I was raised that way by my grandmother, to get out of the bed, you make it up. There's nothing like coming home after a long day and taking a hot shower or bath and being able to get into and pull back your bed and get into some clean sheets. I don't know what about it, but y'all, that rest is unmatched. It's top tier. So I'm teaching my children to be that way too. You know, making sure that they're getting up and making up their bed right away, taking their shower. You know, they normally I lay out their clothes, which I love to iron and get their school clothes out for the whole week. I really don't do day to day. The only time I'll end up in that situation if I had a crazy hectic weekend. And y'all know, moms, at that point, we roll with the punches, right? We get those clothes out, you know, iron them, put them together, and we keep it going. Hey, y'all, I didn't post this live either, but y'all know I'm coming through. We're doing 7 days of live because we really got to talk through this first week of the new year. Is the most critical because you know what? You're going to come against that doubt, that procrastination, the same things before the stroke of midnight. So I'm just here to encourage y'all to be more intentional about how we're spending our time, making sure that we're actually getting up. And if those kids are supposed to be in bed, moms, do that final walkthrough in the house, okay? So that's making sure that those kids are sleeping indeed and not with electronics, right? Those TVs off, because remember, we're saving electricity too. So I'm going to walk my house and make sure that all the proper lights are off and on. I'll make sure that they're in the bed, everything is turned off, electronic gadgets, because I have a child that loves to fall asleep with her Alexa on. And I had to look because if I say Alexa name, y'all know Alexa be like, could you repeat that? I'm not talking to you. But she likes to play music, so I make sure I go back and I turn off the music after she's fallen asleep. Just don't be afraid to get up and get that, muster up that energy. I know we be tired at the end of the day now. I know it. But remember, that's the importance of getting them on that schedule. So if you say bedtime is 8:30, 8 o'clock, I give the 30-minute warning, and that's to wind down, to go ahead and prepare to shut down any games or any toys that they're playing with so that they can go ahead and start the process of preparing for bed. So we know that's our hot bath. We know that's going to be brushing our teeth and cleaning up our area. So I'm really big about cleaning up so that we can wake up into a clean atmosphere. You know, I don't want to wake up to dishes in the sink. And y'all know we human. Now, we can wake up with no dishes in the sink. We wake up with none. But if so, we get up and we roll with the punches too. My dog is literally like sitting here on my lap, y'all. But, you know, getting your children on a schedule is going to be very important, and jump-starting those routines. How old are your babies and what are the bedtimes? So Talia is 10 years old, and Talia is 10, and Tiana she'll be 15 in a couple weeks. So Tiana, I allow her to do more of the 9:30, 10 o'clock. But granted, Tiana's bus runs a little bit later. So she's definitely still getting around that 8 to 9 hours of sleep there. Talia bedtime is between 8 and 8:30. But y'all, with practice, tutoring, being on the run, Talia's normally in bed by 8, if not earlier. So it just depends on your children's age too and what time you have to get up in the morning. But I always say try to minimum 8 to 9 hours or more for children. Remember, their bodies need the extra sleep. But if you start letting them go to bed really early, late in the night, and they're going to sleep late than they should. They're getting up to school. They're groggy in the mornings. And how do you know that they've been up all night? That's when you have to keep telling them to get up. And then they get up and they're, drowsy and not in the best mood. When they get that full, like 8 to 10 hours plus of sleep, they dang near ready to wake up during that time. And once you start making it routine, their bodies will naturally get used to it. And they just become more accustomed to those early mornings or their wake up time. So I think that's a great question. What about your sleep? You know what? A lot of times, moms, y'all know that we're on the kid schedule. A lot of the times, unless of course you're working like a different kind of shift where you're working nights or super early morning, something like that. But for me, y'all, right now you see it's 10 Eastern Standard Time. But let me tell you, during the school week, just like the kids, my body started shutting down around that same 9, 10 o'clock, depending on how much work I need to do during the night. But I try to get in bed between 9 and 10. The older I get, the more I realize those naps be hidden and I need them, and then get in bed early. I am more of remember I say I'm on team early bird, so that means I'm going to sleep at night because I prefer waking up a little bit early in the morning, which stay tuned because I'll be definitely doing more workout and fitness vlogs. And I like to work out early morning. I'm getting up in the morning. I'm more fresh, more clarity. I can think clear. I can get more done. But at night, I just love to rest my body because y'all know, mom life is busy. We get going and sometimes we don't stop until literally the lights are out at night in the house. So that's a great question. Y'all let me know. Y'all write some more questions y'all have down. Do you deal with the kids who struggle to wake up? So that is a great thing. So some kids are just naturally not morning kids. I have kids that get up with no problem. Then I have one, I don't care how much sleep they get, they like to tussle in the morning. So first identify, is it that they're not getting enough sleep? Are they on their phones, TV, tablets? Who need love and affection? Kind of identify what is making them kind of groggy in the mornings, or if it's just who they naturally are. And if that's just them and they're not a morning person, you kind of got to find their motivation to get up in the morning. So mama, if that's their favorite breakfast item, if that's they require more positive encouragement in the mornings, like me. With my son, I do a lot of like good morning, softer tones, more cheery. So moms, yes, you have to do all the above, okay? But just identify your child's personality, the reason maybe they could be groggy, if it's something that you can kind of take away a little bit sooner to help them make sure they're getting their full night's sleep. And if they're just not a morning person, mom, you in the morning, you got to kind of do some motivation magic on them. Remember, we're setting the tone and we're controlling the narrative of the mornings. So when they're having that good morning and they're up without too much of a tussle in the morning, encourage them, motivate them. If that's a surprise when they get home from school, and it doesn't have to be something you go out and spend money on. It can be their favorite snack. You know what? We had a great morning. Mom just wanted to reward you for it. And you'll see slowly but surely a change in that too, in that behavior. But I'll be doing a lot more videos on tips on how to wake them up and things that you can say, just depending on the type of child they are. But that's a great question, D. Y'all, come on, give me some more questions. I like this. Let's figure it out together, y'all. Because remember, there's a sisterhood and motherhood. And remember, when we can share and relate, this is definitely a space to do that. But it's important to get them on the routine and just make sure they're sticking to that routine, so they become accustomed to what to expect. They love that. Taz, you just want all the loving, y'all. He's super jelly right now. Homeschool for mental health days. You know what? My kids, to be honest, for the most part, I have children that like to go to school because they love to socialize. But if you feel like your child is needing a day, remember that perfect attendance is just a certificate, okay? It is not a full ride scholarship to college. So if your babies need a mental health day, mom, or you do, y'all need to take it, okay? Because remember, life gonna keep going, and so do we. And we got to do what we need to do to make sure we're happy, healthy, and whole in our kids too. So that's a great question. How you structure your day. So you know what? I always, when it comes to planning it out on paper, or if I'm doing it from my cell phone, I like to first start with the things that you know you have to do during your day. So if you know them kids need to get up by 6 a.m., make sure you plot 6 a.m., and if you know you're going to work out during the day, plot your workout. If, cooking, what are you cooking? Or if you're not cooking, or if it's pizza, plot the things that you have to do, and then let the things that kind of come up during the day fall in. Bedtime. Remember I told you being consistent is very important. So you can have your kid-free time. That is so important to decompress at the end of the day by having that time where you don't hear your name being called. We don't hear the running feet and the pitter patter and the TV. Remember, it can be stimuli overload sometime in mom life. So just creating those hard boundaries with that routine. So that's a great question too. Do you work out outside of the home? So no, I don't work outside of the home. I work from home. That's a great question. What time do you wake up? So y'all know I said I'm a part of Team Early Bird. So early morning with me for a workout, maybe 4:30 in the morning, because I like to give myself an hour. I love a kid-free hour in the morning to plan and to do the things, pray, meditate, work out, and get my day going for them. But remember, your day should always start with you. Because when you're ready, you're no longer on their time. So that is big for me too. In the morning, when I feel like it's time for them to wake up, this is now their time. But if I'm on their time, still trying to do things to get myself ready, now I'm rushing them, or I'm not there to properly see them through their routine. So that's why it's so important to get that head start before getting the kids up. So I'm really big on that. So that's a great question too. Woo, child, I know. Y'all, this mom life is not easy. If it was easy, remember, everybody would be doing it right and everything would be all roses. It's a battle. It takes commitment to mastering yourself. It's discipline. It requires discipline. Making sure you're going to bed, making sure you're trying to get your prayer time in, your time to just decompress, making sure you're doing your skincare and drinking your water. Whoo, right? I know it, y'all. I know, but it gets better. It gets better. 2 and 3, I have to wake up at 3:30, so I have some time in the morning to myself. Work 12 hours. I don't know what it's like to do non-child time. Any suggestions? So still, even at the ages of 2 and 3, they still should be trying to take some type of naps. At night. After dinner, bath. Reading, home, whatever it is you do with them during the evening, you still want to be putting them down so you can have some time. And remember, it don't have to be a long time. Remember, those little quick naps are so powerful. So just making sure that you're getting those naps, even if you're wanting more rest, nap when they nap. Making sure they are going down at a certain time. And remember, I love little songs. So after you're cleaning up, come up with little things that you do in the night so they look forward to jumping in bed and going to sleep. So if there's story time after your bath, they'll get used to it. I'm telling you, you train your kids, and what they start getting used to, they're going to start doing it with ease. But, if some nights they go to bed at a certain time and another time, and also depend on when you're getting off, what kind of 12-hour shift, because it may be someone else. And it was very important too for your significant other or family or whoever's helping to stick with the schedule with the kids too. Because it's very hard if you're trying to start a routine and a schedule and you're doing it, but dad may not be doing it, or mom is not doing it, or grandma's not doing it, or if you have a babysitter, nanny, whatever it is. Just make sure everybody's on board. It kind of makes the process of learning the routine a little bit easier. But get your naps in when you can and get your rest. And remember, set those boundaries so you have some type of me time. Village to help sometimes. Honestly, I don't have a village. I've never been the type to have a huge support system. And remember, we naturally have everything we need in us, okay? So it's not about the amount of hands we have, it's just the all hands on deck with what you do have. So creating that schedule for yourself is going to allow you to be able to plan things out. And remember, planning is key when you don't have that village. So remember, it don't take a whole lot. It just take a few solid people, to make it go how it need to go. So that's a good question too. Do you have skincare products you swear by? Yes, 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 y'all. I have been loving the La Roche-Posay skincare line, and making sure that I'm incorporating my skin sunblock and SPF, because I've noticed with me, my skin hyper pigment off of anything. I can scratch too hard and I'll get a dark spot. And remember, the sun is what makes the scars and things like that darker. So La Roche-Posay, and I'm always going to say a good cleanser. Don't go to sleep with that makeup on. Cleanse those pores. And then make sure that you're putting your sunblock on even on cloudy days. So that's very important. Get up in the morning, same thing, that skincare routine before applying makeup. And then at night, take that makeup off. That's another reason why I gave the individual lashes a break. Y'all, I can't tell you how much I love to just douse the water and scrub and cleanse my face without having to kind of go around. But, that's just for now. I'm too personal, but Evan has done know what it's like anymore. Kind of embarrassed in personal time. No, and trust me, I've been there. And especially if you have small children. If you have small children, they need you more. I'm just at a stage now where my children are a little bit more independent. And then even I have older daughter now, I'm about to be 15. So she's even able to help now a little bit more. But trust and believe, I remember when they were all little and they needed me for everything. And then I have, two in diapers or one in diaper and potty training. So I've been there. And trust me, it gets easier as it relates to how much they need you. And remember, motherhood is always changing because they go through different stages. But that first, 4 years, they're needing you for everything. Remember, they're even asking you, Mama, can you help me wipe? So it gets better. It's just about creating that structure, routine, and sticking to it. So that's a great question, though. But trust me, it gets better. You're going to learn that personal timing and be intentional about it. It's not that the personal time comes later. You just have to be like one of those moms that said, I'm intentional about getting some time for me to pour into me. And remember, though, that's a part of that mom maintenance that we should be doing. So if those are your trips to the hair salon, the nail salon, a intentional massage, an intentional walk, or just getting that alone time where you're just reading a book. Those things that make you the happiest, healthiest version of yourself. So boys are 3 and 5, 3 and 10. You got a little age gap in there, Sylvia. And I love those type of age gaps too, because remember, me, Tiana, I have to be like, hey, you know what? Call on your help. So if your help is your older child, utilize your older children. So even if you have a 7-year-old, it's okay for them to help their siblings along, and it teaches them responsibility and how a family unit should help each other. Y'all know I like to say a lot of hands make the work feel light. So it's not that the object is lighter, but if more people are supporting it and helping out in the home, y'all, we can prevent some of this mom burnout. Because y'all know we need some help when we can get some help. Enjoy it again. Mine are 14 and 7. Oh, you got a good age gap too. So remember to call on y'all help. Remember to delegate. In nursing, we always talk about delegating. We should be delegating. Everybody should have some type of role, even our 3-year-old. So if there's clean up, everybody, everywhere, that's what we should be singing, because they should be cleaning up their toys and they're learning how to kind of help in their family unit. And then you thank them for that, making sure we learn to praise them as well. Mom guilt when you were taking time for, yes, y'all, I still can feel mom guilt to this day with taking time for myself, but I have to realize and tell myself what I'm doing is making sure that I'm the happiest, healthiest version of myself. And remember, what I say is good for you is good for the kids. My dog, y'all. What's up, Tetez? Jelly, y'all Yorkies. I wish I would have knew that they were so jelly about everything and they got to be all up in your personal space. But yes, mom guilt is real, but you have to be going back to your why. Now, if you mom guilting because you don't went out to shake a tail feather and ain't no, you didn't cook and you didn't get the clothes out, now you should be feeling your mom guilt. But if it's not a situation like that, then it's okay. It's okay to do things that improve you. Remember, happy is healthy is whole. Remember being the best version of you, giving your kids the best version of you and not what's left of you. Let's see. Yes, delegation tips. So remember, the key with delegating is that give off a task that is age appropriate for the child and maturity level appropriate, right? So they're saying that you wouldn't have a 3-year-old watching your 6-month-old, something like that. So you may say, hey, like Tiana, I love I'll say, hey, let's get started on homework time. I may say, Tiana, you know what? Can you help Leah with math? I know that Tiana's really strong in math. So I'm going to help her delegate helping me to look over homework, which I'm still going to lay my eyes on it and help through problem solve. But if you know that child is better in math, bring on your help. If you say, hey, you know what, mom need help with the dishes. If they are age appropriate and can wash dishes, mama, let them kids wash those dishes. Unload that dishwasher, help organize the refrigerator, the pantry. Bring on your help. Let those kids help. There's nothing wrong with that. And I have no problem with teaching them young. And remember, their chores are not a girl thing only. So mom of boys, make sure you are including them. No, Tess. Including them. Bed, baby. Bed. 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 Good job. Bed. Okay, good job teaching him, y'all. So make sure you're just delegating with age appropriate tasks, but give them something. Everybody something, y'all. Even when my kids were like, 3, if I did the clean up, yay! They learning already that they helping clean up, but I'm having fun while we're doing it. So just make sure it's age appropriate, but delegate. So if you say, in this living room or the downstairs, what are the things that need to be done? So we know we got our dishes, tidying up the living room, their bedroom. Their bedroom is their space, moms. We're gonna go back and touch it, but don't be the OCD mom that's touching everything and it got to be exactly your way. Teach them your way and then let them do it. So that's a great question. I love that. Started using the Roche Posay, recommended it 2 years ago. Always would have been using, keeping face clear. Yes, and dermatitis. I love the La Roche Posay. I think it's very gentle, but yet very efficient, especially if you're using it on a constant basis. I love it. Shake a tail for the yes. So if you're in the club and them kids is not getting what they need, then yes, you should be feeling mom guilt. But dermatologist recommended. That's good. Yes, y'all. What other questions? I love that. But delegating has been so important. Remember, hear my voice. A lot of hands make the work feel light, mama. So bring those kids on board. Boys, girls, kids of all ages, everybody up. I remember growing up and my aunt used to have, my Aunt Sweet Pea, rest her soul, but she had 9 girls. 9. And none of them were twins. And my Aunt Sweet Pea house, you would walk in and think that it had 0 children there. And that's because when I tell you, I remember going over her house when I was a child. Me, my brother, my sister, we would visit my aunt's house. And yeah, so it would be 12 of us running around there. But my auntie Sweet Pea ran a tight ship. So if she say everybody clean it, everybody, it's like the cleaning sound. Dun, 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 dun. Our kids are, and every kid had like a buddy. Matter of fact, that's the story time, y'all. Every sister had a buddy, and they were all girls too. So she would pair them. Basically, the older would look after each, had a younger sibling. And then the very youngest, the 9th child, was very little, so she was with my aunt. But everybody had a buddy, and they would hold themselves accountable with their buddy, making sure, because she needed help. It was one mom and 9 children. And she did have a significant other, but that's a whole nother story. So she made sure that the kids helped each other through. So mom of multiple kids, buddy up. But that house was clean because everybody played a role in keeping that house clean. And that's how my auntie, otherwise, mom burn out. She would burn out a long time ago on child probably 4, 5, 6, 7, you know. But don't be afraid to activate the troops now. Everybody on all levels, all ages. Even them little babies, make them hold their bottle if they can hold their bottle. Start teaching them. So the sooner we can teach them independence, the lighter the load get. Oh, yes, yes. I love the incentive with chores. Y'all know I love that. So I have always done like a chore chart. And how I like to kind of structure the chore chart is like the children's name on the side. And across the top, you may have your days of the week. Days of the week, the children's name, and then so Monday column um will be like their room, dishes. So you have like your common areas that need to be cleaned, the dishes, their bedroom, homework on their maybe reading, things like that. So maybe 5 categories within that column. So that's their name, 5 little dots, and then I would check them off, you know, because remember, we're checking behind them, but it's a way to hold ourselves accountable too. Like, mom, did you look through the homework folder? Mom, did you check the room to make sure they made it up? Because y'all know they'll run out for school in the morning. You come back and be like, they didn't even, they got all this stuff all in the bathroom. But hey, did you check behind them? So check behind them and do it like a point system. So if they get all 5 check marks in the morning, it may be worth 5 points. And then, or through the day, you may say make up the bed, you know, they did their reading, they did the homework. They may get 5 points for the day. So at the end of the week, they should have those 25 points. So if they get the full points, that may equal out to their full chore amount. So if that's $15, $20, whatever it is, or it may be a trip to Walmart or whatever you choose to let the incentive be. So I use electronic gadgets as incentive time too, because my children are gamers. They love the game. But another way to kind of control the amount of technology time they're giving or given, I make sure I use it more of a reward system. So they may earn extra computer time. They can choose. So you may have a jar of little things like, and this is where if you don't want to spend money, which y'all know we're in the season of saving money. So you may write on a strip of paper an extra hour of computer time, favorite restaurant of choice, movie time, movie night, little things like that on a strip of paper, fold it up and put it into a little Ziploc bag, jar. And at the end of the week, if they got max points, they may get their allowance and get to pull from like the bonus jar. So get creative, get fun, just make sure it's age appropriate for the kids. For little children, you can also do like a little snack jar. So say for instance, I love that with potty training. So if they potty, they get to go into like the little snack jar, and it may have like healthy little fruit snacks, little things that they like, goodies that you give, you know, as incentive that, hey, oh, I get an extra one of these. So you may have to be creative, and that's a really good one for that Halloween candy too. Leftover Halloween candy is to use it as an incentive as well. But that's a great question. But remember, they work on like a reward system, just like I'm teaching, you know, who I just told to go to his little bed. What I was doing was treats. So he associate that word or that, you know, action with reward. Same thing with children. You know, it motivates them to say, you know what, dang, I want the full 25 points because I not only get my allowance, I get to also go into the bonus jar. And that may be, you know, the things that they love to do, moms that take the extra effort. So that thing that we don't want to do, but we do it when they really do well, you know, put it in the jar. So I love that. Y'all, come on, hit me with some more questions. I'm loving it, y'all. But, you know, just getting them on that routine and remembering to praise them. And yes, I'm talking about all the extra mom effort things like, you know, doing the bonus jar, the chore system. But y'all, telling them a thank you, I see you, I appreciate it. You're doing such a good job. Wow, I see you. Y'all know I'm the mom of the, good job, okay then. I'm real extra. But you'll be surprised how just hearing your voice, hearing mom's voice say, I'm proud of you. Thank you. That really helped me out. Y'all are looking out for me. Wow, look at this family. Look at us. You know, do those things, that positive affirmation. They'll always remember that. And they'll know and learn to associate, knowing how to give credit when it's due to, because you're teaching them by doing it. So that's just a great idea. Y'all give me some more questions. What y'all can think of? Because remember, we gotta walk this together. Waking up early. For you, you know what? Discipline. You know, the more you do it, the easier it will get. And then two, start small. So if you're not really an early person, and remember 21 days to break a habit, right? And to form a new one. Solid days. So start small. So that first week, you may be getting up an extra 15 to 20 minutes ahead of the kids. If you're not at that full hour yet, or 2 hours, or whatever it is, start small. Set that alarm clock to get up 15 to 20 minutes earlier than them. And you'll be like, dang, they sleep. The house is quiet. Let me go ahead and take my hot shower. Let me pray. Let me look through their backpacks. Let me pack their snack box. You know, little things like that. Let me cook breakfast. You know, so it'll give you time to think, and you'll know what to do with the time. And trust me, you're gonna start liking that extra little time and that peace and quiet. And then you're gonna be you know what, okay, I'm up 15 minutes, I'm up 20 minutes. Now let me do 30. Let me move to 45, and then you're up at that hour before you know it. How do you remember keeping up with the charts and chores? So utilize them kids. If they're kids at writing age, you know, it's the same thing normally each week. You may just switch or alternate. Remember I said you got the kid's name going down on that column. Then across the top, you have on that row, you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you got those across, and leave the boxes with the children names kind of large. So you can pencil in those 5 little chores that you want them to do every day, and you may alternate when you're filling it in. So I normally will alternate dishes. If one wash the dishes, one to unload. You know, and I love for them to kind of work with each other too. So they're not, one has the kitchen, one has a living room. I kind of do let them overlap because I like them to kind of be able to depend on each other. But do it. Normally I like to do my charts before the weekend start too. And then there, moms, you can go ahead and also leave enough space when you go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Y'all, I'm gonna have to give y'all a template. Literally, I may do that on a free little link as well for y'all. Don't worry. See, this type of conversation, let me know what we're needing too. But if you leave a little space like we did with our kid's name, along the top, you can also plan your meals. So moms, if you know you wanted a mom to do spaghetti every week because it's a quick meal, or cold sandwiches, hey, this is our opportunity. Go ahead and pencil it in under the day of the week too. So if this is a cooking day, if this is leftover, if you're cooking every other day, it's a great way to plan it. So plan, and I normally like to do that on the weekend. And moms, y'all know we love to save everything for Sunday. The clothes, the cleaning, and I'm gonna tell you that too. Sometimes don't wait on Sunday. So you may know plan your meals on like Friday, and then you may have all your ironing to do on Sunday. So whatever it is, pencil it in on the schedule, moms, too. So what I like to do too is remember we have our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You can put your meal quickly at the top, and then you can put L for laundry day. My kids know on laundry day, they normally pull all of their sheets from their bed, pillows, blankets, because mom, oh, I should got me some water. We should know what days that we're washing laundry, because I'm a mom that washes the sheets every week. So my kids know what days we're pulling sheets. My children know what days we're actually doing our laundry too. So you can pencil that in. So remember, if you're planning to actually get those things done that we know needed to be done, and laundry is one of them, go ahead and pencil it in on the schedule so the kids can help you. I can tell you right now, my children know how to sort laundry. We got our lights, we got our whites, and we got our darks. So again, remember, the more you teach your children, the easier, lighter the load become to help prevent that mom burnout. And yes, smaller, more frequent loads help and to save and everything to win. Drum roll, please. Drrr, Sunday, y'all. And then next thing you know, on Sunday, moms, our list is cleaning, cooking, worry about the school week, hair and lawn. Y'all, it's too much. So learn how to kind of space it out and write. Sylvia, that's a great one. Smaller loads have worked for me tremendously. Because y'all know I don't mind washing. I'll wash, put it in the dryer all day. I can do that motion all day. But when it comes to that folding and they're putting away, when you're looking at a mountain of clothes, y'all know, Mom, I ain't got to say nothing. I ain't got to say too much. Y'all know. But I love that. Me too, y'all. Prayer to improve my routine, and we can do it. You know, like I said, it's we just got to see that we need to improve in certain areas and then start planning. I'm telling y'all, plan. If you plan, you're gonna feel like you get more time, you're gonna get more things done, and it's just by becoming more intentional with how we're spending our day. But we're teaching those kids too to be planners. You know, sometimes we can be frustrated with them that they're not getting things done, but are we leading by a good example? Are we teaching them the routine, and are we following up to make sure that they're learning and they're going at a good pace, and then understanding the why? You know, so instead of just go get in there and do this, I normally say, hey, you know what, Mom, like when we have a good space, doesn't it feel good when you come home and you can just get in your bed? And my daughter, oh yeah, I like it, Mom. I love that feeling. So I make sure I highlight when they're saying things in the moment that they like based off of the fruits of their labor and their discipline and their routine. So make sure we're giving them that positive reinforcement. So I love that. Y'all, what other questions? I love it. But I love and I know the power of routine, and I learned that very young. Share some recipes. Okay, definitely more food gonna be loading too, y'all. Definitely more. I'm seeing that. Y'all know I want to give y'all as much as I can, but y'all know this mom life. We just got a lot that we be doing, and it's so much that I be wanting to share, y'all. And I'm gonna definitely be doing it more, because like I said, we need it, and there's a sisterhood and motherhood, and we got to share. And there's so much that I've just learned along the way that I can, y'all, that I know that y'all have learned too. Remember, when we know, we normally pass it down. And that's what I think is different too. A lot of us are not having that grandmother, and or maybe even that mother figure, or friends that are sharing certain life hacks and things that we're going through. So I would love for my community, our community, to be a space to do that. Oh, okay, I missed some questions. Let me see. Y'all know I do be cooking, y'all. Y'all know I'm a Southern woman, cooking skills, y'all. Grew up with a grandmother. What questions? Oh, meal preps, or do you go with the flow? So, no, I don't meal prep. I'm more of, I meal plan, though. And that is kind of like meal prep, I guess. So, if I know that, I shop based off of meals. So when I know that I'm doing my list of groceries, I'm shopping for meals and not just saying I'm gonna get a little pack of this, a pack of that, and then you come home and still can't put a meal together. So I definitely recommend shopping for meals for the week instead of just loading your pantry full of stuff that's gonna go bad. Y'all know them fruits and vegetables that we be throwing away that we have all the intention to cook and we don't. So I like to shop for meals. So, and then on days that, remember, I don't mind going to Plan B, and I'll go to Plan B real fast, and that's when I be going with the flow. So that's a great question. Know that you make snack boxes for the kids. When do they eat them on the ride home? So, you know what? I definitely do the snack. I used to do the snack boxes every single day because the school that they were going to allowed snack time during like class. And I love the 4 little compartments because I love variety in their snacks. And then it allow you to do a little bit healthier options. My kids love fruit, a little salty, a little sweet, a little different options in there. But not only, and I do pack snack boxes if we have extracurricular activities to go to, and they may not be able to just come home and eat right away. So I do pack snack boxes for after school as well, to kind of hold them over to dinner. So I think that's a great question too. So I think I caught up on those questions, y'all. Yeah, it says a sisterhood. Yes. Competition, lift each other up. That's right. What's the help to teach and inspire? Y'all, I always, when I tell y'all I pray in the morning, when I pray, I always pray that God just use me as a vessel for either motivation, the words you're needing in this season to just help you to prepare for the next one, y'all. Because that mom motivation go a long way. And I know, remember with mothers, I know if your children are small, and I've been there. I've been there. And I know that sometimes it can feel heavy. And when you don't have someone to go to and relate, or just be able to vent, or someone to just say they know and that you can do it. And remember, I'm telling you that your best is good enough. Now I said your best, that means that you're giving it your all. So if you know you can give a little more, I'm here to tell you, when you know better, you do better. So first part about is knowing where you need to improve. And then the second action in that is the doing. And I encourage you to get up and do. And I went to church today too, and the message was like, God is a merciful God, and that every day is a new start. So every day, remember, I always talk about that. And if y'all been following me, I always say that each day is a new day. So if the day before you didn't really plan well, things didn't go according to plan, know that each morning that you wake up, you have a new start, to start with intention, to start your day motivated, to speak life over yourself and your children, and to accomplish the things that you set out to do. Each day is a new day. Give yourself grace. Get up in the morning and just say, thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for my children. Remember to use your children as what they truly are, and it's a blessing. That's your reason why. When you say, oh, Lord, I ain't got the strength, the motivation, let your kids give you that extra push through. They're looking up to you. And sometimes, a lot of times, if you're a single mom, it may be all they have. And that's okay, because God put everything your kids need inside of you. Remember, we give life. The giver of life, Lord, entrust us with bringing these kids here, and we can do exactly what we need to do. It's not about perfection and a perfect mom. It's about one that never give up and know that each day is a new day to do better for them, to do better for you. Give yourself grace. Love on yourself. Let your kids love on you. Let that love fill your cup. Let those little, thank you, mama. I love you, mom. Those little hugs. Let all that fill your cup, your mom cup, to keep going when it's heavy sometimes. And know how to get your rest when you need to. Know how to detach. Know how to put that phone on do not disturb when you need to. Know how to just say, you know what, I need a moment if you need a moment. Know how to take a deep breath when you can feel overstimulated, stretched. And it's okay. Because that's all a part. It's natural. It's normal, too. It's normal to feel overwhelmed. For somebody, there's some lady that is on TikTok, y'all. I can't even remember the name, but her whole content is like smiling and little this and everything is so perfect. Y'all, remember I say it's real life, and it's real life with Tan. Remember, how do you expect for people to relate from a place that they can't relate? Life is not perfect every day. But one thing I tell you is roll with them punches. Because one thing for sure, that at the end of the day is going to end. It's going to end. And if you wake up in the morning, there's purpose for your life. And God said, here's another opportunity to keep trying and to keep going for them kids. And that's what we're going to do. And that's what moms do. We make a way out of no way. Yes, Lord. Counsel, love your voice. I'm going to say it heals. Thank you, Justice. I appreciate that. And y'all, I'm learning too. I had to recognize that calling within myself. I always say, if you wake up in the morning, there's purpose still for your life. God has a plan for you, and He's not done with you. So it's about finding that plan, finding that call, and finding that purpose. And y'all, I can truly say that my purpose I see now, it always has been to help, even when I was at the bedside, holding people's hand for the first breath or the last breath. I've been there, and I thank God for letting me be that person for so many. I thank God, and He ain't stopped letting me be in that person. But now I've been blessed to be that person for a reach of way more. And y'all, I can cry tears. Y'all know how I am. And I'm not going to cry on this live. But y'all don't understand how it fills my cup so much to be able to give back to y'all. I love y'all. I want to encourage y'all because I needed that encouragement, and it has helped me through. So I love, love, love y'all. And I thank y'all for supporting me in every video that I post. And I'm not going to cry. And I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to shed no tear. But y'all, mom life is heavy. But baby, we built for it. Trust and believe that. We're built for this. God is not going to put no more on you than you can bear. Trust and believe in what don't kill you, make you what? It make you stronger. So with each day, y'all, we have a fighting chance. There's purpose. And remember, the journey of life is finding that purpose and chasing it with a passion. And knowing that every day is not perfect, but each and every day is a new start. So I love that. I love that for us. Knock down, we get up. And you know what? The pastor said that too, Amanda, today. He was talking about, like, you're going to stumble. To say that you're not going to stumble and fall or have little things that happen along the way is not keeping it real. It's not keeping it real. But it's not about how many times you fall down. It's how many times you get back up. In the face of what people say is failure, in the face of what seemed to be hard, and reinventing yourself and to keep going. Now that's what the true tale of your character is. It's not how many times you fallen. It's how many times you got back up. And every day that you get out that bed, fighting through depression, anxiety, struggle, you know what struggles you face, and we all face them. But the fact that you can get up and smile in front of those kids when you probably was just crying behind closed doors don't mean you're weak. That shows that strength. It shows that you're human. That's real life. Shed those tears, wipe your face, and get in there and take care of them kids. That's what I do. You tired, mama, stretch your body, ache and pain. Thank you, Jesus, for another day. Thank you for still being able to. Man, you'll be surprised there is power in just the thank you and the calling on his name. There is so much power in the name, y'all. Call on him when you need him. Love and appreciate it. Y'all, I do feel so loved, y'all. I do. And I always say that I feel like God gave me my internet family, which is y'all, right when I needed it. Remember, God is going to take away what you don't need, and he going to give you what you need in the season to survive, thrive. So be okay. And don't question, Lord, why? And just know there's a purpose for everything. You just got to do your part in that season. Y'all making me just so emotional. I love it. I love these lives. Y'all, I could just do this every day with y'all. Wow, encouraged, timely, exactly. Need to hear this. Got tears in my eyes. Me too. But we ain't gonna be the channel just crying. We're gonna cry to the river. That's what we're gonna be doing over here. But y'all, these are tears of joy. These are tears of encouragement. These are not tears of sorrow. It's just, I'm naturally an empath woman, y'all. I can feel it. Y'all, sometimes even the messages, I can feel the energy behind the message. And I send a prayer and good energy y'all way. Y'all, and I just ask that God hear your heart. He definitely see it. And you know what? That's what the pastor said today too. We were talking about the power just in calling on the name of Jesus. And you know what? The pastor was like, people think about Jesus. I gotta scream his name. He said you don't even have to scream it for him to hear it. So in those moments that you need him, just Jesus, thank you. Jesus, I thank you. Jesus, I need you in this moment. You ain't got to say it loud. You don't have to be at church. You ain't got to be, it could be wherever you are. If you need to call on his name, call on his name. And yes, tears of victory, y'all. That victory is going to be so sweet this year because we claiming it. And we're going to be talking a lot more about manifesting. Manifesting the life that we want. And then remember, you got to not only ask for it, you got to ask God to prepare you for what you're asking for. Because we got to know how to maintain things that we're asking for. We can ask for a certain thing and get it and don't know even when we see it or know how to accept it too. So Lord, ask for it and then ask the ability to be able to keep it and be able to recognize it when we see it too. So there's several components to, kind of what we're asking for too. But don't be afraid to call on his name and don't be afraid to ask for it. Ask for what you want. Ask for what you need. Speak it out there and say it's mine. And Lord, I know, remember, he may not come when you want him, but what? He'll be there right on time. So don't lose hope. You got to actually ask for it, pray for it, and then believe that it's going to come. And it's going to come when you need it. Remember, come on, he didn't take it this far just to leave us here. That's for sure. He did not take us this far just to leave us. Remember, each morning is because he's not done with you. He's not done with us. So finding that purpose is that journey of life and then living in it and giving that gift out, whatever that gift inside of you is that's that give back. It's to give back. You know, I always say that I've always been so blessed, y'all, even at points where, Lord, no, I ain't know how, when, where. But when I look back at it, I'm like, dang, how did that happen? I made it through. Nobody but God. Nobody but God. Always on time. Always. Remember, you want it when you want it. And then you know what? God talked about that too. And that's mismanaging. Like you can receive something and then you mismanage it and then want to be like, God, I ain't, what happened? It ain't come through. It did come through. You got to know how to manage it. Remember I said we're praying for that thing and then we're praying for the ability to keep it. You know, so that's very important too. Y'all, what other questions? I love that, y'all. I love the energy of that. Remember, we're going to stay hydrated in 2025, too. So, y'all make sure y'all getting y'all water in, too. So, that's a big thing, too, with my New Year's resolution and just my commitment to my routine and myself is making sure in the morning I'm getting my supplements in and starting with my water or my teas. I know I love a good ginger and turmeric tea in the morning. So, you know, making sure that we're taking care of ourselves spiritually, physically, mentally. There's multiple components to ourselves that we have to make sure that we're nourishing and pouring into. So that's really important, y'all. Y'all, I love it. Stanley sipping right. See? Y'all, my Stanley's in reach. And that's, remember I told you, that's one of them benefits of the Stanley is in not just totally, the make of the cup is great. Y'all know I love it. I love my Stanley. But I realized before the Stanley, I wasn't just walking around with a water bottle, you know, but having the Stanley so convenient on the go, I find myself definitely hydrating more. So moms, y'all get y'all a cup. Y'all see them moms walk around with their cup and their bag and all the things we need because we need to stay hydrated. Remember, our kids need us here as long as we can be here. You know what? I prefer hot teas in the morning. Remember that warm tea is gonna help with bloating and it's gonna help with digestion. So I like a little bit of warm tea than cold tea. Your braids are pretty. Thank you, Justice. Y'all, I can't tell y'all. I have been out of braids for maybe a year, maybe almost a year was my last set of braids. But when I tell you the functionality, the get up and go, the workout, shower, face routine, and move on. I love to get up and go. So y'all may be rocking braids for a minute. Maybe rocking it for a minute. The money is so worth staying hydrated, I tell you. I love it. But y'all know I will be back with our live tomorrow night as well. I'll post in the group chat, but it seemed like I'm going live between 8 and 9. It seemed like I've been going live around that time. Y'all know mom life change from day to day. And we'll be getting those kids getting ready for school. We're getting them back to school. So I'll probably be talking to y'all during that mom hour that I'm talking about, that downtime that I was talking about. But I just appreciate each and every one of y'all that's on the live. And y'all make sure y'all come back to the video and comment some different topics that y'all would want to talk about on the live as well. Be creative, any and everything, y'all. Nothing's off limits. Because remember, I told you, this is a sisterhood and motherhood and just womanhood in general for anyone that's watching that's not a mom together. Thank you. I appreciate that. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to get through it together because we're doing the first 7 days of live. And after that, y'all, I don't know if we're going to stop. But we may do some intentional weekly, several days a week live as well. Just so y'all can know what to expect. And make sure we're covering what we need to cover to move forward and keep the momentum going. But y'all, I love y'all and good night. And I will see y'all tomorrow on the next live. And make sure y'all come back and like the live. Y'all give me some love. Send some love my way and encouragement. Remember, I told y'all I need y'all as much as y'all need me. But good night, and make sure y'all get those kids in bed if they're not in bed. Y'all hear my oldest, she about to go down, but she got that day off tomorrow, so I'm giving them that little extra time because y'all, they appreciate it too. But good night, y'all. See y'all on the next one.